Doubtless there was much of a sleepless night, I imagine, for the Chancellor last night. Look, he's got a big political sell today, an unenviable task, and he'll be wondering how this is going to go down.
He certainly will, and of course this is a statement that has been being built up to for a number of weeks now, ever since Jeremy Hunt became Chancellor. Let's not forget, under Liz Truss, he was preparing the ground for this statement. Originally meant to take place a couple of weeks ago, it got delayed, and of course we've been hearing so many rumours, leaks and press briefings about what may be contained within this statement today. That's all about not making the same perceived mistake that the Liz Truss administration made, which was not rolling the ground before that mini budget, where people were not expecting what was coming. There were some surprises in that quasi-Kwarteng budget there, and this is attempting to do precisely the opposite. The ground is being well and truly rolled. We are expecting some pretty harsh medicine. It's all about, of course, dealing with inflation through fiscal consolidation, spending cuts and tax rises. Very painful medicine being delivered by this new Conservative government. It's not going to be a particularly pleasant statement, and of course the metaphors that we're hearing around it, that we're facing into a storm, that this is going to be tough for everyone, that everyone's taxes are going to go up. It is a pretty bleak picture that has been painted. We're not expecting many rabbits out of a hat. We're not expecting much good news out of this statement. It's going to be fairly depressing for a lot of people, and what an atmosphere for it to be delivered in. Jeremy Hunt speaking about a storm last night. It certainly feels here on Downing Street that this storm has already arrived.
Tom, I was talking to a former Chancellor the other day in Westminster he arched his eyebrows so high and said the leaks now from budgets are extraordinary. There used to be a time when ministers went into something called budget purdah and very little would come out. But this budget in particular, it seems to me, virtually every day we get another headline telling us what's in there. Will there be anything at all in there that's unexpected?
To some extent, the fact that we've had so many leaks in the run-up to this statement is by design rather than by accident. It will be Treasury officials and indeed political spinners testing the water for various policies, leaking them out to Sunday papers and the like to see how these policy proposals go down in the public, to sort of test the water there and see how they land, and through that sort of almost consultation process, if we can describe it like that, they will pick and choose which measures to deliver. The other aspect of all of this leaking that we've seen in the last few weeks is that we have heard a huge litany of very, very painful policy. Now, to some extent, it could be argued that if not every single one of those very painful policies is implemented, if, say, only 2/3 of them are, we may well think, in spinning terms, that we have got off lightly. This is all about expectation management. This is about what we were expecting to see ahead of this morning's statement. And of course, let's not forget the other crucial part, the other half of what's going on today, is that we're going to be seeing the Office for Budget Responsibilities assessment of all of these measures. Now, that means that the Treasury and the OBR have been in conversation. The OBR has been told what is in this autumn statement, and they have assessed the impact of all of the measures within it. That, of course, also leaves more room for leaks, frankly, because more people know what is in this budget, and there is a companion document to go alongside it that we will all be exploring as soon as the Chancellor sits down.
Tom, Andrew there was talking about former chancellors. That was Norman Lamont you've been speaking to. But for anyone who's in any doubt about whether or not this is going to be a return to austerity, another former chancellor has been spotted in and out of number 11 in recent days, hasn't he? George Osborne's one of the first people Jeremy Hunt called when he got the job, and he's advising him, isn't he?
That is certainly what seems to have been going on. However, there's a crucial difference between what we're describing as austerity now and austerity back in the early 2010s. Number one, at the start of the 2010 Parliament, the economy was actually growing. It wasn't the government wasn't pursuing fiscal consolidation going into a recession. It was pursuing fiscal consolidation coming out of a recession. That's a crucial difference. The other one is the size of the black hole that was attempting to be eliminated. Then it was around 8% of GDP. Now it's around 2% of GDP. So potentially less harsh measures needed now. But the other crucial thing is that when George Osborne was delivering his fiscal consolidation packages, it was predominantly about spending cuts and less about tax rises. It was a ratio of the two, but overwhelmingly about cutting back the state. This time around, we're expecting it to be much closer to 50-50. Tax rises and spending cuts. And crucially, perhaps worryingly for many people, the tax rises are coming first. The tax rises will hit everyone immediately, and it may well look like these spending cuts might be delayed into the future, depending on the state of the economy. So this looks like it is a more high-spending, high-taxing government than we've seen from Conservatives before.